Oh, thank you. Hey, how you guys doing? It's the producer from Brothers Comics. Welcome to the Marvel Hack Season 12, Episode 2. Like we said last week, we are taking a little bit of a detour and jumping into a DC comic story. We're doing the Judas Contract with the Teen Titans from, I think this is 1984. We'll talk about the recap here in a bit. Let's get the introductions out of the way. If you're watching the pod, Hutch messed up, not messed up. He changed the configurations. Man, we're all over the place. In Hutch's spot, it's a Sandman. Sandman, say what's happening.
Your favorite DC podcast is returned.
Yes.
Yeah, only DC podcast. Oh yeah,
man. Listen, we try. Hey, we try, y'all. No. In my position, I think it's Brother Blood. What's happening here?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my favorite DC podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And then in Sandman's position, it's Big Hutch. What's going on, man?
hello.
Yeah. So, and then I'm whose position I'm in. Hold on, I'm getting family messages here. Okay, all right. So anyway, so the recap is Robin decided he wasn't going to be Robin no more, and the Kid Flash quit. That's pretty much it. Those were the two major things that happened in there. There was a undercurrent of a story about some senators maybe working with Brother Blood, and we'll talk about Brother Blood here in a second. But I mean, the story is the story really is about to kind of go a little bit deeper and into more exposition about something else where we really get out of this. Tara's the bad guy. It's 35 years later. Y'all should have known that by now. It is what it is with that.
She's the bad guy?
Yeah, she's the bad guy.
Bad person.
Hold up. Let me get a 20. That was 25 years ago. With Scott Hall appearing on Nitro for the first time. That was 25 years ago this month.
That's awful.
Was it still hype watching it? You said you just watched it. Was it
I did. Well, yeah, a little bit. It was like, oh, okay. It was. I mean, yeah, it was fine. It was just like more getting over 25 years ago. Plus, also, I said, damn, Scott Hall was old then.
He didn't look it. But
well,
he didn't look
his body
it
didn't look it, but if you look at him closely enough,
now
those are Scott Hall years, though. Those are
for sure. But yeah, that was 25 years ago. So we're really at the start of the NWO. And then we'll get around that time. We can, I don't know, watch that freaking when Hogan turned. But anyway, all right, man, fuck Hulk Hogan. Anyway, all right, so Kid Flash quit. Robin gets undressed awkwardly and kisses Tara, who's a whole ass traitor, and she's working with the Terminator, which we determined last week was some serious money exchange between companies. That's why he winds up becoming Deathstroke. Issue 2 is called Lifeblood. Marv Wolfman, George Perez, and we start with the resurrection of Brother Blood. Okay, so why is he dead? When did he die? Help me out here, DC folks. Why is he back? Is this the same Brother Blood?
Ain't he like the Dalai Lama kind of? It's somebody that
he quote unquote dies all the time, only to be dramatically resurrected by his little church cult or whatever, just like we see in this book here. So it's staged. All right, that's the whole thing with Brother Blood. It's always a big dramatic show with his little cult members. So he has some actual power, but I think it's with him. He
has charisma,
mind control,
strength from other people.
Charisma, mind control.
Yeah, that extreme charisma.
We don't need to see his DC Marvel card. So they're
what's he got, like a 25
right
or
now.
27 charisma?
I can find you.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it, John.
Don't do it. So
all this,
this is a whole ass cult. The Church of Brother Blood here. I mean, it's a cult. No matter what they said, it's led by Mother Mayhem. I keep wanting to say, times I'm going to call her Mother May I. Mother Mayhem is at the resurrection, and you see all the acolytes there. This issue is called Lifeblood, and embrace the rights of blood. And this was that question I told y'all before. Y'all got any favorite cults? And again, favorites. this different word I'm trying to use. Like, you got any cults that you just know that you remember or whatever, or
Well,
anything like that?
so I'll chime into this uncomfortable topic.
Yes.
Not the Colts per se, but I got two shout outs. Obviously there's the grape Kool-Aid, which was actually Flavor Aid and has tainted the good name of Kool-Aid ever
Yes, for
since.
sure. Yes.
Yeah.
That is just some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But the other one I was going to bring up was the Branch Davidians, and really just because
Those are two big ones, right? Yeah.
Janet Reno, she was new into her AG stint, and
Mhm.
as soon as it went over poorly, she got up and was like, "Hey, that's me. It's my fault." And I
Right.
think just props to actually be holding yourself accountable. You may have
Mhm.
made a bad decision. You made a decision, and you held yourself accountable. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
have any favorite cults, but those are two memorable cult related issues.
memorable. That's good. Sam, man, you got any cults that you know about? Not favorites, not favorites.
Rephrase, please.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, the one that Beavis was talking about is the one I think everybody of our age knows. What was old boy's name? The Reverend
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones, build that on me, baby.
Like you were saying, that's literally where Drink the Kool-Aid came from. That was that cult, because that crazy bastard killed everybody in his cult.
Well, it was, yeah,
Shooting
right.
at senators
The
and-
Kool-Aid, you got shot.
Yeah.
So
it was. I mean,
Who were the people waiting for the spaceship that put on
they
Reeboks
put
or
on
something?
they put the Reeboks and the purple jumpsuits on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were waiting for at the tail at the end of Halley's Comet. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
a
right.
cult.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a whole ass cult too. How you got a cult?
Yes. Unfortunately,
Called a cornet.
Very nice.
The cult that had all the hot women from Supergirl in it.
I remember.
I heard about that. I never got dug too deep in it.
The pyramid prostitute ring or something like that.
It's called NXIVM or Nexum or that.
Was it Supergirl or Gossip Girl?
No,
the
Supergirl.
It was well, not in Supergirl. It was Smallville. It was Kristen
Smallville.
Yeah,
Smallville.
Smallville.
It was the chick that played, what's her name, Zoe or something like that.
Allison.
That's her. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
But it also had it had the other girl in it too.
Another one.
The real cute one. I mean, well, they're both cute.
Isn't that Kristen Crook?
Yeah, Kristen Crook and Chloe Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And right, NX Nexum, I guess you want to say it. Yes, and of course, yes, Jim Jones. That story completely whatever my Kool-Aid experience.
Yeah. Well, grape Kool-Aid is also the worst Kool-Aid.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, first off, you should have known something was up when they brought grape. But other than that, well, also maybe all the
you got to go orange, lemon, lime, or cherry in a pinch.
It ain't grape, it's
purple punch.
It definitely isn't purple. Yeah. That's bad. I mean, I guess not a favorite cult, but but like I mean, I've been watching a few months ago watching that on the chick from the King of Queens and the takedown of Scientology. That's a whole ass cult.
That's a legitimate religion. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
They don't pay taxes.
Yeah. So holy cow. I mean, the stories that you hear about what has happened to people within that particular organization, or worse yet, the people that get out of it and how they run them down completely, legally, emotionally, socially. It's just, I mean, it's terrible. Just absolutely awful. So that's the one. I mean, it's just in the forefront for me. And then the other one we're going to talk about as we go through this would be the Trump cult. This is going to come up here a lot as we go through this.
Would that count as QAnon or whatever people?
Well, I think this is just the cult of, to hate to use that term, it's a cult of personality here, where people have just bought into this freaking wackadoodle. And yeah, and it'll keep coming up here. But anyway, all right, get off the cults, making Brother Blood, whatever. So yes, Sister Serenity comes out as Brother Blood is rise, rise, rise. Sister Serenity ain't black either, yo. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, when I saw Sister Serenity come out from the shadows, I was like, oh, he's about to fuck. This is one of them bathe her and bring her to me situations. But it wasn't. Sadly, comic book code got us. We talk about Brother Blood's costume there, Hush. You pull it up there. It's awful.
This is a different one from his normal one. This is not his normal costume.
The best part is when, spoiler alert, he takes it on TV. And they're like, who is, you can't wear like a skull on TV. What is your problem?
Man, I mean, you know you can bring it if you can wear that outfit.
Yeah, again, if you're watching the pod, Hush is gonna pull up the costume. But just really clear. Okay, the cape is bad. He's got a cock piece.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
And it looked like he's got a mask on top of a mask. He's double masked up. He's COVID for sure, safe.
It's made out of like some chicken skull or something.
Yeah, I mean that looks better than what it does in the actual mag in the book there. Look, the Sister Serena got an upgrade in that picture too.
But I don't like her other costume personally.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, she's got much more. What the heck is that? Is that him in the cartoon?
That's from the cartoons.
Yeah, that's awful too.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Oh, that's some weird cyborg business too. Right?
Yeah, he kind of that's a little bit of everything.
That's his normal costume. Yeah,
well, not in this one. It looks worse. It's just bad, but I mean, it
looks like a mutated Ant-Man costume.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh. It looks like an Alpha Flight villain. I think I said this last week too. It really does. It's just, I don't know. It's just not a good look. Actually, my note says this looks like a WWF 80s.
Don't get him any more ideal.
He'll be fighting Mortis. He'll be fighting Mortis, and at the next, or that is Mortis.
So these new versions of Brother Blood, I see a couple of the regular.
Will I be able to get his ice cream bar?
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah. They really made fun of him in the damn Titans cartoon. They kind of took all the seriousness out of it.
So, okay, and help me out here, DC historians. Okay, so is he the original sinner? Like, are they doing like an opposite Jesus allegory here? Like, is that the thing? He was the original sinner, and he found his way or whatever.
In his made up story, I think that's what in his cult, exactly what it is. So he bathes in the blood of his enemies and rose as a new being or something. Yeah.
All right.
Whatever one, man, I don't know. That's what hell, he'll tell you his whole origin. They freaking yell everything.
Well, I mean,
monologues the hell out of it.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, we're of a certain age, okay? Think back to that particular time frame when we were growing up when this came back. This is very
dark,
sacrilegious.
Dark.
This is during the
and it would be. I mean, it's surprising that they could even get through something like that. To be honest with you, I'm surprised people weren't protesting at comic book stores or whatever because.
This is like Reagan era.
Conservatism, Christianity,
super conservative, satanic planet kind of crap. Yeah.
Hey man, remember
not 40 years ago. Real life. In real life, we had a nut jobber that that was. I mean, that crazy cult person. After that. You could put anything in comic books almost.
Yeah, but they try to say, because the comics are for the children or whatever. Well, somebody think of the children.
They definitely weren't taking us seriously back then, obviously.
Well, but this is the same time that they took that D&D thing off the TV where the dude was out killing bugbears and shit. So, I'm surprised. I mean, again, maybe it did and we just didn't know, but maybe there were some people that were upset about this. You have some dude using an opposite Jesus allegory, bathing in the blood, which is, again, an opposite Jesus allegory or whatever. The blood don't make him clean. It's weird, it's kind of off to say the least. Oh, that's a nice figure. Is that a hero click?
It's not a hero click. I don't see the little dial thing on there, but
So much better version of his costume, as crazy as it is.
Yeah, it looks better.
It does
on
look
a-
So
like
he's
a-
going to be in the next episode of Excalibur also.
it looks like a skinny
It
version of
always
Van
comes
Vader.
back to Excalibur.
Or Dazzler. One of them.
Yes, pray for the power of Brother Blood. All right. So we get out of Brother Blood's lair, and then we go to the 5th richest man in the world's house. And like, all right.
Steve Dayton.
Yeah, I'm that's gonna come back to that. And so at his house, it's Tara, and I'm gonna try to use this every single time he comes up. Gar, Logan, Beast Boy, Changeling. They're being taught by a teacher because they're underage and they need to go through that. And Gar, Logan, Beast Boy, Changeling is super annoying, and he changes into a koala and jumps on his teacher and kisses her. What?
Sexual assault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gar is not a character that works well today. If you
Any
Or
day.
not that character.
Yeah, that's
And
kind
then
of
we have, and then she immediately goes to violence towards children after that. Yeah, this is a bad sequence.
yeah. Well, and my note in here actually says, can y'all think of one of your teachers growing up who took no shit from kids? Maybe not kick the chair out from them, let them fall on the floor, or maybe they did. But we kind of all grew up in the same school district and kind of had some similar teachers from here to there. Can you think of any of your teachers that took no shit? I'm gonna take one, Brother Blood, and share the story that I can't, man, and y'all would know from the high school. There was a gym teacher at that school that there was a kid that got all mouthy with him, and he hemmed him up like up against the wall. I mean, I know the names of everybody. I'm really being kind here. And he hemmed him up. Like the kid got all mouthy, and he had him like pinned up against the wall, like completely hemmed. And he was like, "Yeah, that's not gonna work here." And I was like, "I'm gonna go get mine."
What about the dude who was all like, remember we had an assembly and there was one of our classmates was going to read a poem and he was kind of backed out about it. And he the teacher going up on him. He was going off about having nappy hair and
yeah, exactly.
Damn.
he was like,
Yeah.
"You get your nappy head up here and read this poem, show these people you weren't educated." Like what? Like in the middle of assembly.
Yes, in the middle of assembly. I don't remember dude's name, but I do remember he made me memorize all the freaking counties in Ohio, which I don't remember now, but I remember that being a test, and I was like, man.
I don't remember an incident, but Mr. Rodine and Mr. Gunaris, I feel like they were balanced on the knife's edge there.
Yeah.
Just saying it could have.
Balanced on a knife's edge.
Wow.
Hey, man, you got anybody that was like, oh, man, that person don't take no guff. Let me not mess with this person today.
I mean, and Residence Park, I remember several teachers who I was definitely afraid of. Miss Davis, I thought she was a freaking vampire anyway. What was her name? Hutch, you're gonna have to help me with this. Large woman, black.
Not Miss Copeland, no.
Not Miss Copeland. She was small. This was a big woman, tall. I cannot remember her name. She scared the living hell out of me though.
The speech teacher at
speech. Yeah, I think she was a speech teacher. Yeah.
Good. I see her in my face.
She was not from the States. She had a distinct accent. So I don't remember her name.
I thought you were gonna say Miss Humphrey too.
Well,
yeah, she took no.
We pick on her for every damn thing.
Yes, we do.
All right, she still might be.
Her too, yeah. She would qualify.
Right.
I told y'all, yeah, evil doesn't die. So
yeah,
life.
She's
Miss Townsend didn't take no junk either from kids. From at the high school, she took zero guff from children. Yeah. So maybe again, not kick the chair out from you, but I mean, if given a chance, they might have. But so who is Steve Dayton? Very ironic that name considering here. Who is
Yeah, no
Steve
kidding.
Dayton? I don't know who this character is. Never
Some
heard.
creepy old dude who's got a paid roster of teenage heroes. That's what he is.
Hey, that sounds like somebody we know on the other side of the ledger.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's Gar's legal guardian. He's a millionaire.
Beast Boy Changeling.
He was a member of the Doom Patrol. What was his
mentor? I think
Mentalo.
no,
something like Mento.
Mento.
Yeah,
that's right.
Mento.
Because Mentalo was.
He had another
super
name, I
memorable.
think, too. But
he's a hero or a villain?
he was a hero.
Yeah, he
Doom
was a
Patrol.
hero.
He was with, yeah,
Oh, I see.
because that was there he is. That 1950s
Oh, for Pete's sake.
scientific
That's
freaking
awful. This is why people don't fuck with DC. That right there. Freaking Mentos. That's exactly why.
Do wah.
Yeah.
I miss some stupid ass
That's
commercials.
Lord.
Mento, the
Devo.
fresh maker.
Yeah, exactly.
Devo.
Stick him in a
something.
bunch of cokes. Man, this is awful. Yeah, that's definitely Devo. All right. So the teacher quits.
Again,
well,
like the fourth one.
yeah, my note in here because I love it whenever it comes up on that Everybody Hates Chris show where his wife quits jobs. He's like, I don't gotta take this. My husband got 2 jobs. Like I
Getting
just
kissed
quit.
by a green monkey would throw
Yeah.
you jail.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. This is the 6th teacher they've run off. And his threat to them, this is hilarious to me. He's like, you keep this up, I'm gonna send you to public school.
Do not do it.
Oh
That's
my
not a
Oh,
show.
god!
not public school. Oh my god. I read that and I about died. So Tara and Gar, Logan, Beast Boy Changeling, leave. And what kind of bird is that? Like they leave the school or whatever. Is that
Giant eagles from Lord of the Rings.
Is that what it is?
Mm.
Because I'm like, okay.
I guess.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. And he tries to have this conversation with her, trying to get her to come out. He's like, you've been lying to us. We know you've been lying. Come on, tell us the truth if you're in trouble. I like you. He's just like, you like me? And it's like some teenage bullshit or whatever. But I mean, is they're flying over wherever to get to the studio at what is it? UBS TV.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And they get there and that what they're having is my note says this is some fucking embrace the debate first take bullshit here. Which again, if you've been
They're
listening
just
to
asking questions.
yeah, yes. If you listen to any of these podcasts, I think that culture has ruined sports talk for sure and ruined everything else because it's like, hey, we have this expert in viruses. He's studied all this abroad. He's done all this, and he's going to give you this great answer. And over here, we have a fucking idiot. And we're going to give them equal time to talk about the same thing as if this fucking idiot has any credibility whatsoever, as opposed to this freaking, educated whatever person. And so really this is what this is. Like, all right, so hey, it's the snowstorm, which is something that they would definitely call a show on cable network news.
Very 80s.
That was for sure. The snowstorm with Bethany Snow. And so they invite people with different opinions and let them go and talk for 30 minutes. And so we have on one side a senator, a congressman. On one side we have the Titans. And oh yeah, by the way, fucking Brother Blood is here on some Maury Povich shit. What the fuck are you doing? A whole cult leader on television.
Looking like Dracula.
Oh my god. Tell me I'm wrong or Hutch, or tell me I'm not crazy that this is insane.
It's hey, it passes for TV now. They might have just been ahead of the curve.
This is what TV is now. It is like any evening news, any evening talk show is this. All those freaking shows, First Take, whatever one to Skip and whatchamacallit on. This is that same thing. Yeah, it's just people talking about not having any facts or anything. It's just people sharing their opinions for 30 minutes and go to commercial. It's insane. It's just insanity. So anyway, so Wonder Girl is the spokesperson for the Titans. To say it kindly, it doesn't go well.
It is ain't again.
Yeah. So Zandia is bad. Shipping weapons to them is bad. And then the senator is like, oh, wow, I don't know what that pretty little girl is talking about. That's kind of creep. Yeah,
Don't forget the ifin.
yeah. Wait, what?
Oh God.
Yeah.
He dropped an
Ifin, we don't send them weapons.
Oh,
communists
no.
will.
The commies.
Yeah, the commies, not the commies. Damn. Forgot about that.
It is old.
Yeah.
What you mean, Ode?
Yeah, well,
That's just ripped straight out of headlines today.
that's
Now,
what I'm
Senator,
saying.
Is Zandia bad?
Yeah.
Ifin they is. I
But
ain't
it
seen
is.
none.
Yeah. And you could draw the parallel now. It's like, no, it's not communist anymore. It's like, oh, it's the socialist. Then it'll be socialism. That's the socialists are going to do and take over everything and do and ruin everything like that. A funny side topic. My son is taking a college class in U.S. history. It's like a post Civil War class or whatever. And so it's talking about World War One and the rise of communism. Or no, it was a different class or whatever. But it was humanities or sociology, something to that effect. And it was had these readings by like Marx and Engel or whatever, and it's talking about, capitalists exploiting the laborers or whatever. And there's this expression that the children use now. Like if a rapper is rapping really well, the expression is like, man, that nigga is spitting. And that was the expression my son was like, it was like Karl Marx is like, man, that nigga spitting. Like, yes, he is. Like, yeah, it can't work. It will never work, but it makes a whole lot of sense on paper. Anyway, so the pretty little girl is lying. He blames the communists. And then let's throw it to the cultist and see what he thinks. And everybody's like, man, that nigga's spitting. Like everybody in the crowd is like, oh my God, this dude is really like talking to us. It makes a whole lot of sense. You can't tell me this isn't Trumpism. Tell me it's not.
Only thing Trump is missing is the costume. I mean, it's the same damn thing.
Would it surprise you if he took that
Well,
shit off in a Scooby-Doo like fashion and revealed himself to be Brother Blood?
It's Brother Blood.
Exactly.
Brother Trump.
Yes, I mean, this is that. Like you talk to, he's, as much of a moron he is, he's got charisma. He talks to people in simple terms that they can understand because those are the only terms that he can understand. It makes sense on paper. This is how people get followings. And that's why we have the cult that we have of him currently. But I mean, talk to me about comic book stuff though. Like, is this making any sense to y'all? Even though this dude is pure evil and all the rubes are just eating it up.
I think this is his power, right?
This is his power, literally.
Oh,
Yeah, it makes no sense in our world, obviously. This Dracula dressed up costume dude is like, making sense to people on a damn talk show and swaying them completely to his side. I mean, completely. Everybody's on his side.
Thank goodness he didn't have the internet. It'd be even worse.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, yeah, I got the sense actually that the TV was sort of the conduit for his power, and it would have been the same for the internet, right? So I'm assuming this was all his genius plan to be, get on TV so he could spread his influence that much farther.
Yeah.
Is that on his DC Marvel card?
I just had it up.
He had it up for me.
If it is, it wouldn't make any sense. I mean,
yeah, you need the Rosetta Stone to read that card.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Also, 35-year spoilers. Bethany Cave is a member of the Church of Blood. So
switch out Church of Blood,
I
put
didn't
in
know that.
Scientology.
Hey, hold up. Now you can't be doing 35-year-old spoilers from him and
Only a
I. We ain't never
customer.
read this shit. Yeah.
she's also a member.
All right now.
Jeez.
Charisma 16.
Yeah.
Out of what?
see, this is
Martial
why
artist 7. That doesn't sound good.
this is why the damn DC system just does not work well. You don't know what the hell that means.
There's a
That ain't
chart.
the only reason.
There's a chart, and you compare the value.
You got to do
The
Have
DC
no
RPG
research.
apologist people.
find out what any of this shit means. I mean, he got a lot of mind. I mean, I vaguely know what this stuff means, but the average cat off the street ain't gonna know what the hell they're talking about.
You put the two values together. There's a chart, acting versus your opposing value, and you roll the dice. 2d10.
Too
Every-
complicated.
Yeah, I got
What kind of dice did this have? What sided dice?
2d10.
What the fuck is that? You talking to me like I know?
Two 10-sided dice.
Whoa, was that a percentage die roll or two?
No, it was you add them together.
All right.
And if you roll double, you get to roll again.
When you get
Oh,
across-
nice. So
when
it's
you
an
get across
escalating die
go.
roll system.
Right.
Well,
As
that's
long as
pretty
you didn't
sweet.
roll double ones, you were great.
Yeah, so in
What-
that game, Nightcrawler could actually beat somebody besides the
Right.
top.
And the,
Oh, interesting.
and the penguin could hit Superman too.
All right.
Man,
Respect.
that
Right.
shit was complicated, to say the least. I could not mess with it at all. Yeah,
Complicated.
that was it. I didn't even have to blame Dave Rollins on that one. I couldn't do it. So
Wow.
that's it. I couldn't do it. It was just too bad. Too confusing for me. All right, so yeah, he's gaslighting these people at his finest and talking to these folks about what's actually happening. Join my church. Fight with me. Join my crusade. Send me 20% of your gross income. I mean, that's really the only thing that he was missing.
Ooh, I just wrote
In
a
this whole
two
speech.
zeros. But anyway.
Yeah. And so Raven is the first one to be like, this dude is on some shit.
And,
Yeah,
and that's
you know,
saying something because she knows something about crazy demon church.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't her father a demon?
Kinda.
Oh, well,
Trigon.
yeah, man. I think
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't watch
He-
that. I don't watch Teen Titans Go. I don't read the comics, so I'm starting at base 0 here.
That's not. You're not at 0.
One.
You're not at 0.
I mean, I think what we're saying is base. How low can you go?
Very nice. And much like our former president, all the politicians is like, hey man, this nigga is spitting. Hey man, this dude is really making some sense. We should really listen to the cult dude that's in a different country and follow him.
Mhm.
Like, this is crazy. And again, remember there was an underlining plot about, there were some senators that were working with Brother Blood, but here we're about to find out in a second, it really wasn't. They weren't, and we're about to go on this, and I'm about to go on a rant about that here in a second anyway. But anyway, and here's another point, modern times too. Presenting facts to cultists, it doesn't matter.
It don't work.
It doesn't work. Like, you're wasting your time, like trying to give them like facts. Like, oh, well, this is actually what happened. They don't care. They're way too gone into whatever. And this plays out in here too. Like, it's just like, nah, son. Not it, right? Okay, Hutch, why didn't you tell me that Hiram Lodge was a senator in the DC universe?
I forgot.
And Robbie Robertson, y'all ain't tell me he was a politician.
Oops.
Come on now.
What the hell?
And Black Lex Luthor from the cartoons, he's he a senator too. Like, look at the
look right. Yeah, I did know. Or,
Yeah.
or I think somebody was taking some license.
That's definitely Mr. Lodge, just with white hair. There's
Right.
no doubt about that.
Somebody's an
Oh,
Archie
yeah.
fan.
Yeah,
They do that all the time.
that's Robbie
Right.
Robinson too.
Right. That's a ha. This is the funky flashman.
Mhm.
Their version. Right. We're making some ha-has here.
Yeah.
They're like, no, like Wonder Girl's like, man, no, he's bad. He turns children into do nothing. Like, no, I said my kid there, he came back skinny. He was fat, and he came back, he was fine.
No, I didn't.
I mean,
No,
it's insane. And like,
I mean, well,
it up.
Wonder Girl isn't them Amazon? They might be a cult too for all. Well,
You're really getting to him now.
Yeah,
we hate men.
yeah, so no, he's a good boy now. Cyborg finally jumps into this. He's missing a G again. You can't explain away the death of Marcy Reynolds. Who the hell is Marcy Reynolds? That blood-sucking vampire killed her. Who's Marcy Reynolds?
I think, if I remember right, it was one of his childhood friends that he grew up with and got killed in the Blood's cult doing something. It was against them. It's been one of their stories.
Yeah.
No, I don't know anything about it. And then now it's like, oh wait, y'all gonna believe this alien? When Corey said something about it, like, It's just like, nope, can't trust the colors.
You're right.
Yeah, and then Brother Blood's like, come to me confused. I will show you the way. You know, like, no, this dude's not a threat. He's good. It's just no problem. It's just amazing to me that how it parallels to what's happened with that dude. Like, it really is. It's just like, you know, up was down, down was up.
It's been
Black
happening.
was, you know, black was white. Yeah, but not on the
Every-
scale that it happened.
Every
Here's
you know,
where
it happens it happened 40 years ago from this comic book, or 50 years ago from this comic book. It happened 4 or 5 years ago, give or take.
Yeah.
People are sheep.
They want to believe.
They want to believe.
We will, right. Sheep. Bah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
This is wild. All right. And so Wonder Girl begins to doubt her leadership. Duh, you should, because you didn't really do well on that. And Cyborg gave her the freaking the Bart Simpson meme. Well, at least you tried. Yeah, I mean, that was basically it. And then Brother Reeves, you said it, like, so they let this idiot come out there and spread his freaking jizz all over the world or whatever. It was like, well, we were just asking questions. You decide.
I don't know who you're talking to.
You or Brother Blood, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I took. I took it as like this is his conduit for his powers. Like I it's funny because like this is not the story I thought we were getting at. I was like, what does this Brother Blood business have to do with the Judas Contract? This is like a warm-up act.
It doesn't have anything to do with it at all.
This is like, we got to make a trade paperback, but we only have 4 issues. We got to get like 2 more issues. Let's just put some foreplay on the front of it. They'll never know.
Nice. Yeah, it's just kind of, I mean, it's a weird version of this because nothing really happens. Like,
my favorite part's coming up though, where Dick disguises himself as a porn star to invade the domain of these disgraced politicians.
Man, you've been in my notes. You've been in my notes. Yeah.
Well, that parallels real life too.
Hey now. So the Titans get the debrief. You know, we got to show the public that Brother Blood is really bad. Again, facts don't work on cultists. You know, it's dangerous. It doesn't really work. I don't know if y'all see that.
Yeah, Wonder Girl only got out one line. She's like, what was I thinking telling the truth? They're like, you tried, kid.
At least you tried. And then Logan Gar, Beast Boy Changeling, he changes into like all these different characters talking about names. Does he look up Corey's skirt?
Yes.
That's the joke. Yeah.
What in the world, bro? Like, yeah.
Like you said, you just talked about weird science, and this is the time of, I mean, we've had Porkies, we've had, I mean, this was the time. I mean, Bad News Bears. I mean,
I get it.
If we go back and watch those movies now, we're like, hey.
Yeah. I know, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but it's just
Tallywhacker.
I get it's just comic book code, man. It was just like, how did that like kind of slip through? I guess it didn't really matter.
Well, that was one of the things that when I brought up the stuff about George Perez and Marv Wolfman and the last thing, they said that they had a lot of problems fighting with the editors and the comic code, and that's kind of what made them leave.
Maybe they should have. So yeah, I mean, I see George Perez now, these sweet old gentlemen. Maybe out here drawing freaking dogs looking up girls' skirts. Yeah, it's not what I was thinking.
This is him in his younger years.
And his line is like, "Oh, hi, Corey, nice seeing you."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Dude, you're looking at her.
Yeah, he is literally a horn dog. He is
with his tongue out.
With his tongue out. Yeah.
Bad. 1 week later in New Jersey. So
nothing good happens there.
Yeah, Robin, and again, there's going to be, if you're offended by bad dick jokes, just skip to the end.
There's some phrasing. The phrasing stands out like for the rest of the book.
Yes, for sure. So Robin goes undercover as Joe Walsh. Okay, so who's your favorite Joe Walsh? I was looking at this. Okay, is Joe Walsh a real character in DC Comics? Not just the guitarist, or was that No.
For the Eagles.
Eagles, yeah.
The Eagles.
You are so beautiful to
You know,
me.
so is that anybody? That is he like a real character? Okay, so if he's not a real character, so they talking to this nigga like he is a real character.
I thought it was like Joe Diggler Walsh. I mean, he's straight. This is a straight up porn star, dude. Look
Joe
at
Dirt
him.
Walsh.
Look at him.
Yeah, look at him. Yeah, it
Man.
doesn't make sense. Yeah. So, but I'm saying though, like how? Okay, so if he's assuming this dude's personality, they're like, "Oh yeah, I met you. You're, nice to meet you from the press or whatever." So he's assuming some. Is this somebody that Dick portrays?
I get, and they
Like,
they try and get like the rest of the crew, and they're like, "Hey, I'm Joe Walsh from the same network as y'all." Okay,
Okay.
he's either very convincing or there's an actual Joe Walsh,
Yeah, that's
or
what
there's
it
a
made
giant
me
plot hole here.
think. Yeah, maybe, which is probably closer to it. So
Because
yeah.
the rest of the network is right there.
Yeah. Hey, then we're gonna get Trish Tilby, wrong state book, I know. We're gonna get freaking Bethany Snow to come. Like, oh yeah, I met you at the the fucking reporters convention and blah blah. No, there's none of that. All right. So the all the senators, the ex-congressmen or whatever, they were like, hey, we ain't never worked for no brother blood. We was framed. Hey, you know what? Let's go on a fact-finding mission to Zambia and and find what's going on. So Joe Walsh is going to lead a fact-finding mission with Trish Tilby. And yeah. So my note here says black dude going on a mission to an unstable nation with a cultist named Brother Blood and asks what's the worst thing that could happen.
And that's how you know he ain't really black.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I know what could happen. And I haven't read ahead, but I have an idea what might happen to him. All right. So how the junket could end is nobody's guess. Sure, Jan. So let's see. They're greeted by the president once they get there. Raphael, Marco, I've arranged a meeting with the cultists. That's usually what happens when you go to a foreign visit, a state visit, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let me take you to the craziest person on this island. No. So anyway, so so he's dangerous, and so they head to the Temple of Brother Blood. They're greeted by Mother Mayhem, and as they tour the facilities, the cameras catch Joe Walsh, and they're like, "Oh shit, he's in a disguise, son." Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to pick out. He did not make his roll on his DC card.
What? See, but come on, man. Like,
he has disguised a 10.
But it just doesn't make any real sense.
Nick Grayson is the disguise of 10.
You roll doubles. What are you gonna do?
All right, he rolled double. Somebody rolled double ones, and he got busted.
Bruce would be disappointed.
Yes, he would be.
He's been right for years. That's why I wear a mask.
Yeah, well, and now you brought that up. About, the porn star thing I had in here too. He's really just missing the necklace. He's got the stash. He's just missing like the big old gold chain or whatever, and some chest hair. But yeah, all right.
He's got
so
the collar for it.
He does. And so, all right. So this big mission is going on. Let's go back to the ladies and see what they're talking about because she is the leader of the team. I'm getting married and shit, and I don't know how am I going to invite the coloreds? I can't invite, Logan Gar, Beastly, and Changeling. How am I going to explain this Negro?
Yeah, I read that line too, and I was kind of
man.
Like, eyebrow raiser.
Are you serious right now?
They're just not like everybody else. We're not going to say what's different about them, but it could be any number of things.
Several. Having a red eye. Oh.
Yeah, well, Victor is so tall. Yeah, so anyway, but it also struck me too, like, all right, this is the leader of the team, one of the strongest member on the team, and instead of like discussing this mission that's going on right now, they're talking about her wedding. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And also, if she's a teen titan, what her teenage ass doing getting married?
Good point.
That always struck me as very strange.
Seriously. What kind of shit is that?
But they're not teens anymore. They're 20.
They're new teens.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's what all the freaking statutory rapists say.
They're the tween titans.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know she. Look at her rope. I didn't know she was.
19 is a teenager.
That's true. Fine. But who's she marrying? Who's this nigga? What's his name?
Harry something.
Right. He's a normal too.
Harry.
Actually, he looks like Dirk Diggler, like Robin.
Another
Guy's
porn
kind of yeah. He's got like different hairstyle, but he's
right. Kind of remember Bob. Ain't he like Bob Ross? Oh,
yeah. There you go. He looks a lot
God.
like Bob Ross.
yeah,
Okay,
Bob Ross.
And also, okay, so this is Donna Troy's wedding. She has not a thing on except mascara. How the fuck they don't know it's her? It's her shit public persona?
Comic book magic, baby.
Come on, man.
Does she wear glasses?
She looks exactly like the fuck she looks right now.
This is just ridiculous. God almighty.
I think she changes her hair at her day job.
That did it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So anyway, something goes wrong with the plan. They get the zing zing, and again, these DC books not big on the onomatopoeia. And then the wording, as we were saying, will Dick be all right if he's hurt?
La, la, la.
Is there any way for Dick to pull through this?
Oh God.
There's a better one coming up, but yeah, that was the one I was like that dick to pull through. I was like, really? This is not an accident.
No, not at all.
This is the 80s, all the 80s in there, whatever, man. This is all the Benny Hill kind of
right boldness, raunchiness.
Tales of Ribaldry.
Yeah.
Test to walk there. Let's see if the comic code will let this one get through.
Yeah. All right. So then they like, all right, we got to go back to Zandy or whatever. Okay. So they get in the T sub.
And hold up. This the T sub. Does this island float? Because if you notice there's nothing supporting it underneath. There's just water when they coming out. I always thought that was. And actually, when they get to Zandy, it's the same damn thing. It's just a big floating mass of it.
Too much
the
science
blood makes it
bothered me.
buoyant.
Well,
That
also, yeah, science. But also, who's funding the Titans?
Dick,
It
John-
was
The
originally
fifth
Whatever
richest
they-
man in the world.
Cyborg's father originally. He built the tower, and then after that, I don't know.
I thought it was Mentos.
I think it might have been.
I think it's
something.
a couple of grants, a couple of nefarious fundings. It's
They had
all
to
over the
convert
place.
Cyborg scholarship.
That's probably what happened. Yeah.
Robin's work study at the library is paying for the shit. So yeah, all right. Anyway, okay. So how the fuck far is Zandia from New York or wherever the fuck? Because they're like
Barely 20 minutes.
2 hours. Well, you could have took a plane. Fuck, I was like, damn. Like, how long does this take? So the plan is to infiltrate the island from underneath. I know what y'all saying. Like, how do you get underneath the island here?
Comic book.
Tara has a major role. She has to get under there and use her powers. And then when she's done, she nutted and she's exhausted and useless. And so they get up through there, and then Raven is like, "Oh no, wait, we're being watched. You know, Azar protect us." Who's Azar? Is that demon devil?
It's the witches cult that raised Raven, Azareth. Azareth? Yeah. Yeah. Something like that.
Well, you skipped a
dick.
reference.
What was the dick?
Blood's temple is huge. Dick could be anywhere.
Poor Grayson.
Christ.
I'm just saying they worked a huge dick into a
Yeah,
thought
they
bubble.
did. Oh my god. So Corey blast a wall, to get this gas out of here, and then she gets knocked out by an invisible barrier. All right.
It happened.
Come on, man.
She couldn't see where she was going.
Hey, Spider-Man be Fire Lord. Anything can happen.
She's super powerful. What she get taken out by like a wall?
The number 9.
Yeah.
She
Wooden
couldn't
pencil.
kiss it.
Oh shit, they got mechanical pencils. Ah.
So yeah, so I mean, you would think Victor would be a little bit in. I mean, hell, he's barely human. You would think he'd be able to put a mask up or do something to like not gas shouldn't take him out. You would think, but I guess not.
Surprise.
Mm-hmm. So okay, well, and so they all get knocked out, and they're all down, and then we get Brother Blood to start monologuing or whatever. And this is like, oh, okay, so he's captured them. He's gonna, liquefy them into his blood and increase his power by putting the blood. It's like, oh, you know who betrayed you? Your dick belongs to me now. And so yeah, and then they show Robin there. He's become a cult member. I mean, this is so freaking bad. I mean, it was really bad foreshadowing to begin with, but then two, okay, yeah, really, Robin's gonna turn the freaking Titans. Like, I mean, this is like fucking bullshit.
Well, so far so good.
Come on, son. So yeah, so he's gonna use their blood, and your power will belong to Brother Blood. And then that ending shot is really cool. With them all attached to the skull and hanging out like popsicle, like
George Perez,
nice
baby.
thing.
George,
Know how to build a death trap.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it's just a great shot, and and that's the end of issue 2. I mean, again, sounds like we're shitting on it. Not really shitting on it that bad. Nothing. I mean, more than anything in this issue, nothing really happened. Like, that's the biggest issue. Like, nothing happened. Like, I mean, there was.
It was. They're trying to get through stuff with plot in order trying to build up story.
Yeah, but we know this is a 5. I mean, I guess reading it in 1984, you didn't know this was a 5-issue thing or 4 issues on an annual. Like, I mean, when we're gonna get to the good parts, I guess, when we're gonna get to the heel turn by Tara and how that's gonna turn out. Don't spoil it too much yet because I haven't read it, but I mean, you're running out of pages here, Sandman.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it when you get there, but yeah, of the issues of the Judas Contract, these are obviously the ones that I don't remember well because for I guess fairly obvious reasons.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, once it kicks in, it's really good, but yeah, you got to kind of go through some potholes to get there, and this is a damn pothole. So,
right.
How much blood?
This is Fat Thor. This is. I mean, you have to. Yeah, you got to go waddle through some stuff. Some call it shit, and then you get to the better part. Hopefully.
More than anything, I'm struck, Brother Beavis and you, Brother Blood, the other Brother Blood. You're probably in the same boat as me. I'm struck at how easy of reads these are. These are, using our scale for this podcast, these are one shit books. You can really get through them fairly easily. There's not a lot of, in 1982, back on the farm that was back in Stanislava, like and all this crap that leads up to actually something happening. It's just pretty straightforward, almost like a modern book, but with more dialogue.
Yeah, I think the weightiest part was when Destro, the Terminator, was giving a description of his powers while fighting
monologuing.
A 2-page fight with Tara. That was about sort of the longest part. But yeah, it's not. It doesn't have. It sort of has some of the Claremontisms, but not the what we've come to under. And John Byrne is like he's guilty of that too. I'm reading Avengers West Coast right now, but yeah, they're not. They do flow for, even though the other direction we've gone with this is like, oh, they're so quick, it's just splash page. So yeah, I think it is pretty balanced.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I mean, like I said, it reads fairly quickly and easily. You don't have to think too hard, I guess, about it or whatever. But I'm just waiting for the action to kick up. You just, if you're on Watch the Pod, Hutch just put up a shot there from the Teen Titans Judas Contract, the cartoon or whatever, the cartoon movie. And I remember watching that. I also remember watching it internationally, so there's a lot of skips and pauses and whatever in there. And so I didn't get a chance to kind of inhale it. but I also know I would have put it out of my memory because fucking Damian Wayans is in it. And obviously I knew he wasn't in it in 1984. So I was like, y'all just sticking his asshole in here for shits and giggles, and that's not going to go well. So, all right. But overall, Hutch, like, what do you think on a reread 35 years later?
Almost 40. But sure. I mean, I enjoy the series. Like I said, it's overall, like I said, it's one of the best series I remember from my DC whatevers. So I'm in. I'm still in. I know where it leads. So I mean,
yeah. See, that's where I'm at. Like, I mean, I know where it ends, but I also don't, how we're gonna get there. So my issue is just like, can we get there? Because y'all are taking some time.
Here. We go through our classic X-Men episodes. Oh, I remember them picking up Dazzler in a discotheque. So you gotta take some of these, and Kitty Pryde.
Oh God.
You gotta Oof. All right, so that'll start to wrap up season 12, episode 2. We're gonna get through this, and like I said, I think it's a 4-part series, and then there's an annual. So we'll kind of go through that as well.
Do they still make annuals?
Yes, and they're still crap.
And they still suck. Have nothing to do with the main timelines or anything.
They're still like, hey, let's get freaking,
charge double, and half the stories are up and coming horrible artists.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're still out there. And so we'll get through this. Again, this is our kind of summer series here to kind of get through the Titans.
SummerSlam?
Summer series, not SummerSlam. Summer series to kind of get into the summer, something light and easy before we decide what we're gonna do after that. But just all around good stuff. So again, you can find the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere you want to find iHeartRadio, anywhere you want to find the podcast. Rate, review, subscribe. Like I said, picking up subscribers every week on the Watch the Pod part on YouTube. So just search @Brothers Comics to be able to find the page. Watch the and watch us freaking sit around and talk about this shit instead of listening to it. But yeah, other than that,
we might have run some people off on this one.
well, we might have picked up some cult listeners. Who knows? I mean,
if they're the cult of DC,
I was thinking of leaving.
That's a cult.
Well, yeah, but I
Snyder cult. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, but I hate using that term in terms of like overt fandom, because generally speaking, they're not dangerous to themselves or other people. Not dangerous. Like those other ones that we listed are clearly
right. The other ones are real life crazy folks. Do not try this at home.
Yeah.
And again, there was a dude just like the Joker at the Batman that went cuckoo. Oh,
yeah. They're fanatical for sure. The people that cheer for Snyder like that are fanatical for sure.
Yes, they are.
And can't be reasoned with either. And presenting them with facts doesn't make any sense either. But they're really not dangerous. They're just kind of assholes. But
and there's Marvel crazies too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, I watched Legion for 3 seasons. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is a little crazy.
Oh,
God.
I love me some Aubrey Plaza, but even that couldn't get me in there. Yeah. So
I didn't finish
hard.
2.
Yeah.
I didn't finish 2.
Didn't finish 2. Yeah, couldn't do it. So yeah. So I mean, yeah. So that'll start to wrap us up. Even though this is the Marvel Hacks, we always play out the X-Men the animated music series. So as the X-Men the animated music is playing us out on this DC podcast, the producer of this podcast, so I'm signing off. Sandman, go ahead and sign off.
All right, DC fans, we will see you when we see you.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. We should be good. We're on a good schedule here. Brother Blood 2, Electric Boogaloo. Almost forgot.
Rip Shabadoo. See you
yeah,
guys
that's
next
right.
time.
R.I.P. Shabadoo. Yep. Hutch, man, don't get fired. Sign up.
Yeah, Starfire forever.
What's that say? 40C?
40C? Yeah.
I just noticed it. Cut
Let's
my
go,
music. We'll see
So,
everybody.
Is that on her DC card? She got a roll.
Oh,
One of our powers.
you can't get
Yeah.
them things on the DC card. They're
Yeah,
on
it
somebody
won't
else's
fit.
card.
Yeah, they won't fit.
Yeah, they won't fit. But
Nice.
that's right. I think that's right. It might be. But anyway, yeah. Well,
Yeah, that yeah.
Edit this
yeah.
part
And
out.
yeah.
We'll edit this part. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, you're worried about me speculating about cults.
All
Go
details.
ahead. yeah. We'll see
Have
you
that
on the other
removed.
side.
See ya.
Moonwalk that out. Peace.
Yeah, sure. Have a good evening.